All right, folks, welcome back. So I got a few dash light bulbs in here that are burned out. So I'm going to show you how to remove the dash cluster to replace them. Okay, so I was working on another project in here, so I had already have the dash removed. You don't technically have to. I just find it a lot easier because the dash overhangs right here, you know, because this is what we're taking out. But I think there's one screw here to get it out, one here, and one here. There's one there, you know, and they go into these spots there, and one over there. There's going to be two in your defroster vents. One right there, another one right there, you know, that go into these. That's pretty much easy how to get that off. So starting in here, no matter where you start for sure, but I'm gonna get this little I guess a kick panel or something like that off of here. Two screws like that gets that out of there, and the whole thing just drops. Maybe be more careful with yours. Okay, that's gonna let you access that. This will let you access this. We'll be discussing that later. So next thing you do is you're gonna try to unscrew this. This is your toggle for the cables that operate your passenger mirror. And this will unscrew out of here. This is all one piece. This piece and all around here, all like this. This is all one piece. So now sometimes this will come off like that, or sometimes this ring will come off, you know, like right now the switch can't come out of there, and I like it to be able to be loose and come out of there. So let me show you. Sometimes you can take a screwdriver into these slots right here, and you know, this doesn't need to be tight, so it really shouldn't be that tight, you know, to get this out of there. So now that ring can come out. This will allow this to kind of push back in place a little bit there. So the way this goes on here, so when I first was unscrewing this, while it was in there, this will screw on like that, and then this has got threads in here which will thread onto your, you know, the actual, you know, it's just like a regular light switch or whatever. There's threads right in there. See if I can get you close enough. You can do this, you know, you can stick it back on, use a screwdriver kind of like I did, or you can just go ahead and I just kind of finger tight this on here, hold this deal, and we'll show that when we go back together with it, you know, but you'll end up setting that aside there. Now this, get you a little pick, and I'll show you how to do this when this is off, but you're going to get a pick. One of these ones with the little angle like this is good. Okay, now, alright, camera, you need to focus. See that little tab right there? Okay, the way this is going to be doing is you're going to be touching this little tab right here and just kind of pushing it in just a little bit. See that? and that's what gets that. And that's actually, you know, all these are the same. Got one missing right here. Actually, it's not missing, it just won't, this little tab is broken off and it won't stay in place. That's how you get that off. Okay, then up here you got screws there. Like there's one you would have taken out to do the dash, but see this one right here with this around with this tab right here, you got one there and you got one over on the other side, and you want to get those off or out, whatever the terminology needs to be. And this person's gonna have to be really delicate with it. Everything with all this plastic stuff, so you'll need to, you know, rotate your key, you know, because right now it's in the lock position. Your steering wheel is locked, this is locked, so you just rotate. It doesn't need to go on, but just rotate it down like this, and usually pull that like so. Pull your steering wheel down, and then just kind of pull this out, and that pops out. You can see down below. Well, actually, you can't see right yet. These little tabs right here that go down and inside there, but because the steering column is angled up, you're forcing it. But see, taking the dash off allows you to have this come up here like this, and then you know, you just got to be real delicate with it, and then just kind of work it out. Eventually it'll come, and it just comes out all in one piece like so. Okay, now you got 4 screws. You got one here, one here, one over there, and one down behind this part. We need to get those out. So let me get all those out. Okay, so now this is loose, but there's a couple more things that we got to get. So next thing you do is you need to shove this back in here. Make sure your wheels are chalked or whatever when you're moving that thing around. So okay, so with this accessed here, you can kind of take this plastic and just kind of shove it down a little bit, and then what you're accessing there, if I can get a good light on the subject, is right here is this little cable, itty bitty little tiny thing that operates from your shift lever to run your indicator. So what we need to do, I just trying to find a good place to put my light. What we need to do is get a pick or something like this, and very gently need to go in here and get this off of this little nub. Okay, so now it's off. See, it's just a loop, kind of like a hangman's noose. Next thing we do is get a 5/16 socket, and we need to get that screw out of there. That's going to allow this whole piece to come off of there. So let me do that. Okay, one other thing I just wanted to point out before I got this thing, I got that screw loose, and see how it's slotted? That's how you adjust it, so that if your indicator was not quite positioned in the right spot, you can loosen that and adjust it, get it in the right position so that your indicator's doing what you select it to do. Okay, so once you get that little screw out of there, take note of this steel up in the top, push it up, see how it comes out to the opening now. Sometimes you might need to get like another little pick or something to kind of pull it out, and then that way it'll come out and come out of here, so that this is, because this is going to go with your cluster. You see, when you pull this, spring loaded. So me just pulling that little cable out of there. That's all you're doing there. So let that hang there. The next thing we got to get is the speedometer cable. Probably the hardest thing to get off on here. Now I cannot show it on camera, but when I get this out, I'll show you the end of it and give you an idea how to get it clipped off. But you know, when you get your hand in there, I can't even see. When I put my hand up inside of here, I can't even see where my hand is. It's all done by feel. So we'll get this thing out of here. Oops. Let me pause this. Okay, so we're gonna rotate this down, get this thing kind of pulled out of here. And you'll rotate it kind of down a little bit. And pull your wires with it. There's where your speedometer cable hooks on the back to, and there it is right there. Now what we'll do is we'll get a better look at it, getting this thing out of here. So first off, got this like that. It's hard to see in here a little bit, but I'm missing all of these numbers right here. You know, you can see I got, by turning the park lights on, I've got some that work, because obviously these all light up, this lights up, gas gauge lights up. I get about here, and all of these numbers, which I don't need any of these numbers over here because I never go that fast. But 70's usually lit up, but anywhere between 65 and 40, pretty common numbers to be looking at while doing most cruising around. So we're gonna get that fixed. But you just kind of press this in here, both sides, to release this electrical portion of this. Man, it's shaking it too much. So once you get that off of there, you're kind of going to want to leave it in this position anyways, so that you can test, you know, which ones. But see how you got this cable. I wanted to get this thing out of here so you can see the speedometer cable, but you kind of want to just fish this thing out and get the whole thing out. Okay, there's your speedometer cable end right here, and I'm trying to see inside there. That little plastic deal that's connected to that actually locks in to this ridge right here, so you can see that. And so when you're in here, now this is going to be pretty much about in that position, and you're going to want to reach your hand up through here and it'll snake in here. But then what you're going to want to do is press this thing forward. See how that lifts that up like that? And you want to press this forward and then, you know, pull it back. And so you can get in there with a flat bladed screwdriver and push on here, but I really wish I could demonstrate this a little bit better. But it's, see how that pushes up? So that goes down and that pushes up, and in through that hole is that little locking tab that's connected to here, and that's what gets that, you know, snapped in place. And you know, that might be a better view of it, but just basically you're going to be pushing up on this tab right here, and it lifts up like that, and you wiggle, pull, and wiggle and pull, or get it, if you can reach up here with a long screwdriver and kind of push this and kind of push it that way, and just being delicate with it. Eventually it'll come out. So that's what I wanted to show you on that. And now this, you know, whole thing comes out of here, and then on the back side of here you've got all your bulbs and whatnot. You will just do a quarter turn to get those out. And there they are, and they're just ones like that. I don't know if this has got a number on it. It's a 194. So you can go to auto parts store or whatever and get a 194 bulb, put that back in there. A lot of people are doing, or some people are doing LEDs and whatnot. That's a great idea. I just want to keep my car original, so I just do bulbs, but whatever blows your skirt up. Okay, so all of my bulbs were actually working. It just you can see right here, if you kind of move these things around, you know, like this was in this position right here, and as soon as I went to quarter turn, you know, counterclockwise, and went to pull it out, and then all of a sudden, oh, that bulb's working. It went back in, so these connections get kind of dirty a little bit. And so now I've got bulb up here, and that's going to be the one that was causing me my issue, and then not be able to see it with the camera, but there's one right here that was actually working. So that's that. And then, you know, obviously on the bottom side of this deal, you've got your bulbs for your indicator lights and whatnot. So now we're completely lit up here, because you basically got one bulb kind of that does all of this area over here, and another bulb that kind of does all of this area over here, and that one in the center there kind of does this. That's what I was missing all of these numbers out of. So now we're completely lit up. You know, I turn the lights on and off. So yeah, now we just need to get this thing put back together. And so the first thing we're going to work on is we're going to leave this loose. But we fished this thing back through here, and luckily this deal moves, you know, this plastic piece right here moves around a lot to be able to get it, you know, up in position. And then trying to do this the best I can, but you see you were able to see it till I got my big hand in there. Okay, see the slot right there, like that, and then that goes down there. Now you can see that your deal's lined up for your screw. I gotta find that. Once you get it with two hands, you can kind of get it started like so, but it is a little difficult. Other times I've dropped them. This time I managed to do it without dropping it. And get it pretty snug. And if you can remember or see where it used to be, that'll be a plus. And so the next thing, get this thing back up. And then this is going to be a little challenging sometimes too, but you can get that, you know, gotta slip that little hangman's noose over that deal, and sometimes okay, I was gonna get a pick, but I just managed to slip it, you know, just how you saw it. I just slipped it back down in there, got that down there. And so then what you want to do is test this. We're pretty close. You know, you're not really gonna get, I mean, we're pretty close right there. As you can see, you know, like if you got this thing loose and you pull this thing down, watch what's happening to the, so that's going up, back up. So this is pulling it down. And then you kind of just can hold your finger right there and move your selector lever right here. I think this is where I'm gonna leave it. I'm trying to get this down. I'm holding my finger on there so it doesn't move. Yeah, this is where I'm gonna leave this. And so, yeah, we're right there. So let me get that thing tightened up. And there we are. Reverse, neutral, drive, second, one. Okay. Just leave that down for the time being. Then you can get your plastic piece kind of stuffed back up into place right here. It doesn't really, there's nothing that really holds it in. It's just kind of there. So your bottom kick panel piece will kind of hold it, and everything else just, it stays. You know, it's not part of the, you know, here's your joint for your tilt steering wheel. So it's not part of that. So now we need to get, still got the lights on, because when I get this thing all in here, you know, I want to keep watching and make sure that everything's going to be fine. Since I didn't find burned out bulbs, I found bad connections where the bulbs twist in their little sockets. That's what I found. So we're going to just keep the lights on for a second. And while we're doing all that, we got those all coming on like they're supposed to. So yeah, and we'll get these 4 screws put back in, that one there, this one there, those other 2, get those put back in place, get her latched down. Okay, we got the screws all put back in place. We're going to reach back up inside of there, and all we really have to do to get that speedometer cable on there is just get it up there, you know. And you remember that tab that was, or that part you pushed was right about here, and that other tab that went in there's like this. You just got to push it on, and that's it. You know, it's not that easy getting your hand snaked up in there, but it's really the only way to do it. So, and there's no point, I can't show it on camera because like there's no view. You know, this is in the way and all that. The only way is to get from underneath of here, like so, to get it out. It's such a shame that they can't have this part, you know, at least be able to like take this tube off of there and, you know, get to it from back there. I don't know why, but it is what it is. Okay, I got that in. I don't know if I can get this view because you can kind of see it up there. You can see that right there. That's it. And that big part right there. Let's see if we can, I don't know if I can do this or not. Oh, focus camera. There. Now all I have to do is just reach up there and pull it out. That's how you can do it. Just reach up there with a screwdriver, kind of push that tab down at the same time, and go back with it. You're right there. It's loose right now. All I have to do is just reach up there and pull it off. In my case, I'm gonna reach back up there and snap it in position. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do that on camera, but that's about the best I can do. So, all right, shop phone ringing. Anyways, I'm, you know, that's best I can do. I was at least glad I was able to, you know, kind of be able to show you, you know, what I did and everything to get that. You know, just keep playing with it and work at it. If you start getting flustered, move on to something else or walk away and then come back refreshed and re-energized, have a beer, smoke a cigar, something. You'll get it. All right, so we got this all ready to go, and that can be the last thing you put on. It really doesn't matter at this point, but trying to get this deal here. You'll just have to kind of finagle this down. You'll have to lift up on this portion of the dash a little bit. This is the reason I like to have the mirror control able to be pushed back in place there. And you'll just have to, you know, push up on your antenna switch, get it started in there, and then it just kind of eventually goes in. Get your tab started in the bottom on each side and push it in. Not too difficult, but now go ahead and get your screws put back in. Without the dash pad being on here, this is actually so much easier to do. And this part right here, so we got, see that little kind of a notch in there, needs to line up like so. And then like I said, you can put this on just like it is, and go ahead and reach back here, keep that deal pushed forward, this out of the way, and then you can thread this in place here. It seems to work just fine. None of this, you know, has to be very tight. It can't, because you'll be able to get it off again another time. But you know, like right now, I'm kind of getting this thing cross-threaded. You just got to keep finagling it. Eventually, it'll go. Screw that on, and I get it is, you know, pretty much when it kind of butts up against there, that's about it. But it's tight. It's tight on the back side here. Not much else you can do. So then this deal, kind of just take the pick, you know, remember that tab we were pushing on before, get it started in the slot, then just kind of push it forward till it goes on. And that's it for that. And keep your steering wheel down. And we'll go ahead and set this dash pad on. I double check right now to make sure that the what I was trying to fix is still fixed, and it is. You know, when you move stuff around, sometimes, you know, get this dash pad and set it in place. With the steering wheel down, it makes it a lot easier to set it in place. So it looks like this deal kind of moved on me a little bit, but we'll reposition that. Okay. But we got our screws to go all along here. We got one there. Obviously you can see you don't have to take off like a screw like that, because that holds this faceplate on, but you can see, you know, that's not holding the dash pad on. So you got ones that look like this with this tab on here, which is the same as this. Getting the dash pad off, you don't need to remove those because they don't go into the dash pad. And we'll get all them screws back in. And then last step will be putting this kick panel thing back in. That will kind of be the last final thing holding this deal in place. And there we are. And one final thing to make sure that we fixed what we wanted to fix, and to make sure that everything still functions. Okay. And that's how you take the dash cluster out. 78 and 79 is this style of dash. So you get into the older ones, they're going to be probably very similar, but not quite identical. So anyways, thanks for watching.